Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 10 at Keeneland on Saturday is the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley Stakes. And while the 3-year-olds are going to get all the attention, the Arkansas Derby and the Lexington Stakes, this is just one sensational betting race.
Yeah, this is probably the best race of the entire weekend. This field is loaded as it should be. It's a Grade 1 at Keeneland.
And if you want to bet it with DRF Bet. Sign up for a new account, access a $150 bonus at drf.com/join, promo code TV150. Let's take a look at these fillies and mares getting set to go a mile and a 16th in the prestigious Grade 1 Jenny Wiley Stakes. I want to start off with the Keeneland lover, the number 8 Coronel. She seems to really enjoy her time at Keeneland. She won the Appalachian in 2017. She won the QE2 Cup in the fall of 2017. Right. She's had 2 starts at Tampa Bay Downs. She's been beaten by a couple of these. You're not a big fan.
I'm just not. I mean, I know that she's obviously a good horse, and you're right. I mean, it's something that you at least want to, however you feel about her, you want to take into consideration that she really does run really well at Keeneland, 3 for 3 over this turf, of course, all ungraded stakes races. Listen, she's a good horse. I just don't think she's that good. I think there are better horses than her out there. I think there are better horses than her in this field. What you like about her, she can get any kind of a trip in a race. And again, she does really like Keeneland. So maybe that's all it will take. But Dan, she's just, in this kind of a field, I'm just not betting her.
Looks like Chad Brown's got this field surrounded. Yeah. What a surprise. The 7-sister Charlie, second in the French Oaks last year, made her one and only start in the very prestigious Belmont Oaks, where she was actually favored over New Money Honey, a quality Chad Brown train runner, and like many European imports, she didn't break very well, and John Velasquez tried to get her in the race with a big wide move on the backstretch. She dropped in, she came back out, she ran really well. Where's she been? Yeah,
she's been away for a long time, so I guess in that race, when they shipped it over here, was in early July. Obviously, something went wrong with her after that race. But make no mistake, she can really run. I mean, she came over from France with really good form. She ran a really good race in the Belmont Oaks. I mean, considering how far away she was, she still had a lot of work to do when they got to the second turn of that race, and she almost erased the entire thing. That was a good performance. Now she gets Lasix for the first time. Chad, you know, he's picked out a pretty ambitious spot for her off the layoff. I don't think anybody's going to be shocked if she wins. I'm going to bet somebody else in the race, but I'm going to have to use this horse.
You think she wants more distance?
Yeah, maybe. She probably might want to go a little bit longer. That's a good point.
Let's take a look at our Timeform US pace projector for the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley. We'll look at Sister Charlie's formulator fact first. It's Chad, it's a layoff, it's Lasix on. You know it's going to be good. 38% winners, a 296 ROI. Now we'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector, and we'll look for Sister Charlie. And we can't find her anywhere because she's going to be so far back. Right. We do have the number 2 Lovely Bernadette out there on the lead. I wouldn't be surprised if she's out there. I also wouldn't be surprised if La Coronel is sent hard by Jose Lezcano.
Yeah, I think you're going to see La Coronel up close. But this horse, Lovely Bernadette, and she's pretty good in her own right. Her last race is a little disappointing, but she's got speed and an inside post. She might be on the lead.
Lovely Bernadette was getting good towards the end of 2017. 3 in a row, 2 graded stakes. Last time out in that Hillsborough, though, just really on fire.
Yeah, she just didn't run her best race. It was first off the layoff. You can be a little forgiving of that race. She's also a horse, even though she has speed in the inside, she does not need the lead to be effective. So you might find her, you know, if she doesn't go right to the front, just sitting in behind somebody else, she's pretty good. She's just, boy, this is a really tough Grade 1.
Speaking of the Hillsborough, 4-star Crook ran them all down in the lane, beat 4 of these common foes. This New York bred, all she's done is win 10 of 15. She got one of the better trips in that race.
Yeah, she did, but she's just so consistent. She shows up, and that race that she ran in the Hillsborough, it's just what she runs every time they send her out onto the track. She's a closer. She's going to need some pace. She's got post 11, so she's going to need to find a way to save some ground early in the race, that's for sure. But she really ran last time.
Sister Charlie's the morning line favorite, but the one they may all have to beat's the number 4 Dona Bruja for Nacho Correas, because this horse was tremendous last time out, winning the Grade 3 Endeavor. And let's be honest, she's been good in every single one of her North American starts. You can say, well, she didn't fire in the First Lady. Oh, she fired. She just had no pace to run at, and it's just tough to come from last. She would have had to have closed in 20 flat to win.
Yeah, I mean, she ran really well in that race. As you say, she's run well in all 5 starts when she got here. I loved the ride that she got last time in the Endeavor. Jose Ortiz he didn't take any prisoners in there. He knew he had one horse to beat, La Coronel, and he outran her to the front. And this horse just powered along on the lead the entire way. I'll say this about her last race. I was way more impressed watching it live than I was going back through the replay in that race. She just had everything her own way in there. And then once she got clear in the stretch, I mean, there was really nobody running behind her in that race. I still think she's good. I still think she can win this race. But I liked her a lot more before I really started digging into the race here.
Proctor's Ledge was the Lady of the Lake at Saratoga last year, winning the Lake George and the Lake Placid. And Did it worry you a little bit that she just didn't fire in the QE2 Cup over the Keeneland surface, as if maybe she didn't handle it? I know she was third in the Appalachian during the spring. She came back in the Hillsborough off a long layoff, and it looked like she had the race won in mid-stretch, and maybe she was just a short horse.
Maybe a little short. I mean, I guess if you wanted to nitpick a little bit, you could say that Jose went a little too early to take over. I mean, there were the horses that were on the lead in front of her around the second turn were, I don't know, 90 to 1 and 80 to 1. So he didn't necessarily have to go when he went, but he did. He took over, and she just got a little tired at the end. I'll give her a pass for the QE2 Cup. Coronel got to the lead. She wired that field. Nobody closed any ground. I think she was way up against it in there. She's better than that anyway. Post 10 does nothing for me in this race, but I'm using this horse. She's good enough to win.
Formulator Fact Horse at a price is the 6 Bletchley, going out for Mark Cassie. This horse won her North American debut, overcame a slow pace to do it. Cassie, over the past 3 years, older last now winners making their second start off the layoff in graded stake turf route races, does very well. She obviously has to run her career best in this really talented field, but she did it the right way, I thought, in her seasonal debut.
I have no problem with the race that she ran off the layoff. I do think she's going to have to run a lot better than that to win this race. And it's not like you can go back through her European form and say, well, you know, obviously she has a lot of room to improve. She was okay over there, but she wasn't a stakes horse.
Keep an eye on the weather forecast, because if it rains, you got to move Kitten's Roar up. Her best races seem to come on soft or yielding ground. She caught firm turf in her last couple of races at Gulfstream Park. Sort of had like a tracking trip last time out in the Swanee River, was run down by LEC's World. I don't think she's really grade 1 class at this point, but you give her a little bit of give in the turf course, she hulks up.
I agree with that. You want to move her up if there's cut in the ground, and she's run some really nice races. I mean, if you just go strictly by buyer speed figure, she fits right in with these horses. I'm with you. I think she's a cut below some of these horses, but yielding ground would help her, and there's always the chance with her that she just gets a perfect trip. I mean, she has really nice tactical speed.
Let's take a look at our top picks in this race, and it is just a sensational event. You're going with Chad. You're going with the number 3 Off Limits. Off Limits won the grade 1 Matriarch. It was the completion of a 4-race winning streak, and in the Hillsborough, she was favored over those horses, and she had a little bit of traffic trouble in the stretch, but I just wonder if Chad was using that race as the prep to this spot, while 4-Star Crook was actually wound up tight for the Hillsborough.
That's exactly how I was looking at it, especially when I think when you go back through the replay of that Hillsborough and just watch what Rosario was doing with this horse, it almost just sort of felt like their plan was to give her a run in there. I'm sure they would have been fine if she had found a way to win, but especially coming through that second turn of that race, I mean, he had a chance to take her to the outside, and she looked like she was ready to go, and he didn't take her out to get her into the clear. He kept her in behind horses and just let her run through the stretch. I think they were setting her up for this. And she was so good in those races last year. If she can get back to that form, she's a handful in here.
I don't want to give Ultra Brat short shrift. She won the Marshuas River 2 starts back over a good turf course. I thought she had a really nice trip last time out on the Swanee River. She was in a little bit tight down on the rail, but mostly she had a ground-saving trip.
Yeah, I mean, she's a good horse, and she's another one that she has that kind of tactical speed where she could just maybe fall into the right trip here and sort of, you know, use that to get a big piece of this purse. I couldn't make her win.
Cambodia is coming off of a layoff, and she got really good for Tommy Proctor last year over a variety of surfaces. It didn't matter if it was a good or a soft turf course or a firm course. She won the Maybe and looked good doing so. I thought she ran okay to finish 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf against world-class competition. Watching the Matriarch, to me, it just looked like a horse that was in need of a break. She was in a good spot turning into the stretch. She just was flat in the lane. She really didn't have a break for a long time. Proctor put her away for the winner. This horse has won off long layoffs in the past. She draws an advantageous inside post position. This is her distance. I think Cambodia has a chance to be a pretty good filly in this division. She's going to have to prove it in a tough spot off a layoff.
I agree with all that stuff. I mean, I really feel like you're probably right. Her Matriarch was really disappointing considering the trip that she got, but she did a lot of racing before that, and maybe it was just one race too many. I like that they stopped on her and freshened her up. I don't like her as much as you do, but I can see her running a really good race here.
You're going 3-10, 4-7. I'm going 1-4, 11-7 in the Grade 1 Coolmore Jenny Wiley, $350,000 on the line. If you're playing from home, you can access $150 sign-up bonus with your new DRF Bets account. DRF.com/join is where you need to go. The promo code is TV150, an approximate post time for what should be a war. The Jenny Wiley is 6:12 Eastern on Saturday at Keeneland. Good luck.